Get ready for action, because Mercedes' podium streak just ended in Miami as McLaren delivers a massive 1-2 punch in the sprint race. We look at how Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri dominated the track to steal the show, and what this means for the rest of the season.
Here's a simple way to protect your phone without stress. This ALEN 3-pack comes with tempered glass screen protectors, camera lens protectors, and an installation frame for an easier, cleaner fit. It's clear, case-friendly, and built to help guard against scratches and everyday bumps. Check the link in the comments to get it on Amazon.
Next up, we dive into the championship battle as Kimi Antonelli struggles with a poor start, and we track his journey down the standings after a penalty cost him crucial points against the dominant Mercedes team. We explore the intense battle between the top contenders as Lando Norris cruises to victory, and we break down the fiery exchanges between Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton, and the Ferrari drivers throughout the race. Finally, we analyze the full sprint race results, including Charles Leclerc's third-place finish and the significant statement McLaren made. Plus, you can watch every moment live on KO Sports. Don't miss out on the full story. Mercedes' podium streak concluded at the Miami Formula One Grand Prix as McLaren delivered a dominant 1-2 finish in the sprint race. Lando Norris of Britain secured first place, followed by Oscar Piastri of Australia in second, ending the Mercedes team's run on the podium for the first time this season. Charles Leclerc of Ferrari finished third in the sprint event. The race saw McLaren, like many teams, utilizing a 5-week break due to race cancellations in the Middle East related to the war in Iran to implement crucial car upgrades. These changes highlighted McLaren's efforts to close the gap on the currently dominant Mercedes team. Prior to Miami, the Formula One season had been characterized by a clean sweep for Mercedes, with George Russell and Kimi Antonelli securing victories in the first 3 Grand Prix races and the sprint race in China. Russell won in Australia, while Antonelli took the lead in the World Championship driver standings after winning in China and Japan, also claiming the sprint race victory in China. In Miami, the Mercedes duo was unable to secure a podium finish. Russell finished fourth, and Antonelli was sixth after a 5-second penalty for track limits dropped him behind Max Verstappen in the final standings. Lando Norris, the reigning Formula One champion, successfully defended his sprint race title for the 2nd consecutive year. Norris reflected on the event, stating, "It was a good race. Nice to be back on the top stair even if it was a sprint. It was hot out there. It was sweaty. I was trying to find that balance of pushing but also staying relaxed and not making mistakes." Team principal Toto Wolff acknowledged the team's current position, noting, "We know that we are a little out of sync with our upgrades compared to other teams. We were hoping we were going to be able to hold on to our advantage, and in terms of pure lap times, we were close to the pace at the front in the sprint. This season is going to be a pure development race, and whoever brings a few tenths before their competitors will gain an advantage." Max Verstappen finished fifth for Red Bull, with Lewis Hamilton for Ferrari finishing seventh. An early race incident saw Hamilton ordered to yield position to Verstappen after passing him. Meanwhile, Cadillac made its debut in the United States, finishing at the back of the field with Sergio Perez and Valtteri Bottas recording 16th and 18th positions in the 22-driver field. Lando Norris secured a well-deserved victory in the Miami Grand Prix sprint, claiming his first win of the season. Starting from pole position, Norris maintained a commanding lead, crossing the finish line nearly 4 seconds ahead of teammate Oscar Piastri. In contrast, championship leader Kimi Antonelli suffered a disappointing start, finishing fourth before incurring a 5-second penalty for track limits, ultimately placing him sixth. This penalty slashed Antonelli's early lead in the standings by 7 points, leaving him 42 points behind the leader. The battle at the front involved Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton, with Verstappen ultimately taking 6th place after Antonelli's penalty boosted his position. The race highlighted a significant challenge for Mercedes, which had dominated the season, as McLaren's upgraded package successfully challenged their grip. Norris's sprint pole position marked a major breakthrough for McLaren, building on a strong performance in the preceding race. Meanwhile, in the Formula 2 category, Alex Dunne delivered a podium finish, securing third place in the inaugural Formula 2 sprint race in the United States. Dunne fought hard to secure the position, finishing 1.281 seconds behind Nikola Tsalov, who took the win. Dunne's performance also netted him 6 points in the overall standings ahead of the main Sunday race. Lando Norris secured a dominant victory in the Formula 1 Miami Grand Prix sprint race, solidifying McLaren's improved performance in the highly anticipated return of Formula 1 racing to the Sunshine State. The sprint proved to be a significant test, featuring temperatures exceeding 30 degrees Celsius, which put the new power units, including Honda's, under intense scrutiny regarding their heat resilience. The race saw notable incidents, including Arvid Lindblad being relegated to the pit lane for a technical infringement, and the early retirement of Nico Hülkenberg due to engine failure. Ferrari made their characteristic strong start, but Norris quickly took the lead, establishing a commanding advantage over Piastri in the initial stages. While Antonelli managed to maintain position from George Russell, the competition remained fierce. As the race progressed, the McLarens began to pull away, with Charles Leclerc holding off Oscar Piastri in fourth position. Hamilton successfully navigated the challenges to close the gap, leading the charge for his team, though significant overtakes remained elusive. The midfield action was characterized by frantic passing maneuvers. Sergio Perez made an impact by passing Liam Lawson and beginning to challenge Sainz for a top 10 position. In the battle for the lead, Norris maintained a 1.4-second gap over Piastri, who was steadily closing the distance on the trailing pack. Despite attempts from the Mercedes drivers, the Ferrari held firm. A key moment came on lap 8 when George Russell unleashed his teammate, leading to strategic adjustments from Red Bull. Verstappen successfully executed a crucial move on lap 17, allowing Leclerc to gain breathing room, pulling nearly 3 seconds clear of the McLaren. Towards the end, the pressure mounted as Leclerc began to close the gap on Piastri, but the gap remained frustratingly wide. At the checkered flag, Lando Norris claimed the sprint race win, with Oscar Piastri finishing second and Charles Leclerc securing third place. The final order saw the Mercedes drivers in fourth and fifth, followed by Verstappen, Hamilton, Gasly, Hadjar, and Colapinto finishing in 10th. McLaren secured a dominant victory at the Miami Grand Prix, with world champion Lando Norris claiming a convincing 1-2 finish alongside teammate Oscar Piastri, signaling the team's return to top form in the Formula 1 World Championship. The win marked McLaren's second consecutive 1-2 result in Miami, a triumph team chief Andrea Stella dedicated to the memory of former driver Alex Zanardi. Norris, the 26-year-old Briton, finished the 19-lap race 3.766 seconds ahead of Piastri. The race saw Charles Leclerc finish third, ahead of George Russell of Mercedes and four-time champion Max Verstappen of Red Bull. Championship-leading Italian teenager Kimi Antonelli finished sixth after receiving a 5-second penalty for exceeding track limits. Lewis Hamilton secured seventh place for Ferrari, with Pierre Gasly of Alpine finishing eighth. Norris expressed confidence in the team's efforts, stating, "Let's do it all again," acknowledging the team's upgrades as key to their success. Piastri noted the challenging conditions, adding, "It was a good morning. Now let's see what we can do in qualifying." Meanwhile, the race was marred by high temperatures, which impacted Ferrari's performance despite their upgrades, while McLaren appeared to benefit significantly from their new package. Mercedes struggled to match the pace set by Norris and Piastri. The event was preceded by a moment of silence in memory of Alex Zanardi. The grid featured 18 drivers, with Nico Hülkenberg absent due to an engine failure. The race featured intense moments, including a skirmish between Verstappen and Hamilton, and tire degradation affecting several drivers, ultimately showcasing McLaren's strong performance amid the heat.